Well, for more analysis on this, let's speak to Joseph Haynes Davis. He's a lawyer from Orlando in Florida. Thanks for being with us, Mr. Haynes Davis. Now, what's happened in Chicago and Minneapolis? Will there now be increased calls for reform of police in the United States?
Well, of course it will. And incidents like that are the basis for the calls of police reform, and to some degree, rightfully so. One side of the argument is that the young man, who was 13 years old, obviously should not have been out of the house or with a gun, allegedly, as has been reported. And as a result, maybe this incident would not have happened. On the other hand, the fact of the matter is that he was out of the house, allegedly with the gun, etc. Everything caught on video with his hands up, and he was still shot while his hands are up, and that is never good at all. And that definitely brings into question proper policing, police reform, and how can matters like that never happen again? So that is indeed the question.
Just on that specific incident in Chicago, as we've all seen the video now, when we talk about the way that policing is carried out, is there ever any discussion in the United States on shooting to wound rather than shooting fatally like this in the chest?
Well, I'm not sure about discussions about shooting to wound. Obviously, there are less lethal options like tasers and things of that nature. When an officer or anyone uses lethal deadly force, that's why it's called lethal deadly force. You could theoretically say, well, I'm going to shoot him in the leg or in a limb or something like that to wound, but you could hit a main artery with the intent to shoot to wound, assuming that that's what you're trying to do, and the person still die because of what they call bleeding out, so to speak. So I'm not sure if anyone or any police officer, any police force or anything like that actually has a policy of quote unquote shooting to wound. That's why they call guns, firearms, etc., lethal deadly force.
Absolutely. And finally, then, how does what's happened in Chicago and in Minneapolis, of course, affect trust with the communities that these police forces are dealing with and themselves? Is there a breakdown now in trust, and how does that get resolved?
Well, there's always been suspicion, and there's always been a lack of trust, for the most part, with certain communities with the police. I mean, it can go all the way back to the moments of Jim Crow, possibly even further back, moments of Reconstruction and so forth, coming forward. Moments during the Civil Rights era, moments during the 70s. You've had moments when there's been a lack of trust between these communities and the police force, and some will argue, I should say, rightfully so, given the history. I've always said, not only as an attorney, but also as a journalist myself, facts don't lie, only people do. And so in these instances, facts don't lie, only sometimes people might put spin on matters to make them look like something they aren't. But the fact of the matter is, history has a basis, and history has the history of matters like these happening all too frequently. And the question becomes, what needs to happen for it to stop? And let me add, for your audience and all audiences around the world, it really boils down to the hearts of men and the hearts of women. I'm not sure that you can change the hearts of men and hearts of women overnight. I believe it might take time, and hopefully my belief in saying this as a journalist and an analyst reporting on TRT is an objective one because I believe time will tell.
Yes, and we all hope that it does resolve the situation in the United States. Okay, Joseph Haynes Davis, do appreciate your analysis. Thanks for being with us.
Thank